Hello guys, what's up? Jeff Hardy 2K5 here, doing another video here on YouTube. Two things I quickly want to talk about. Number one, I am very happy because I bought this, the 50 Shades of Grey book by E.L. James. As you can see, I'm currently reading it. That's why this little thing is in it. It's like my bookmark, so don't worry about that. But yep, I cannot wait to read this whole book, and when I finish it all, I'll hopefully do a video here on YouTube on my full thoughts on the book itself. Now with that out of the way, on to the main topic. And obviously I thought I'd talk about wrestling, which I don't really do that much, as you guys know. If you subscribe to me, if you've watched any of my videos, there's not many wrestling videos as there should be, as I would actually like to do, which I'm going to do now. So I thought I'd talk about something that I've recently heard, and I'm very, very pleased to hear. Mr. A Double himself, Austin Aries, has finally become the TNA Heavyweight Champion. And my thoughts are simply on this are, thank fucking God for that. TNA, I'm actually going to say something to TNA Wrestling, which not many people say, and someone like me doesn't really give them credit for it, and that is, I want to say to them, thank you. Thank you for finally putting the TNA World Title on a guy who actually can make the belt look good, can talk on the microphone, has the swagger to back it all up. You know, I really do think this is TNA really listening to the fans when we say we want Austin Aries as the world champion. Now, when you look back at Austin Aries' career, when he was on the independent circuit for a few years for the time that he was, it's hard to think that he was the guy on the independent circuit you probably wouldn't have looked at and thought, he'll be a TNA heavyweight champion. You know, he wasn't like, it's like he said, you know, he wasn't the biggest guy, he wasn't the heaviest, he was just this small guy and could do what he could. He had to do what he could with his size and with what he was born to do, with the size and that. He wasn't the biggest, he wasn't the heaviest, and he wasn't going to be the strongest, but he made do, and he became the fastest rising star in professional wrestling. You know, it was only in there was a picture going around on Facebook which has actually really reminded me that in 2005 CM Punk and Austin Aries had a match together for the ROH World Title, and then in 2012 it shows a picture of CM Punk holding the WWE Championship and Austin Aries holding the World Championship, and underneath it says in the caption, "Independent wrestling does matter." And it really does show as well. And also they even showed a picture of all three wrestlers. I don't know why I said all three, I haven't even mentioned the third guy. So it shows CM Punk, Austin Aries and Daniel Bryan, like how they started off on, like in the first picture, how they started off their debuts in each company, and then finally all three holding the championship. That to me tells me that all three who start out on the independent scene, who you probably wouldn't have looked at and said, that guy's going to be a world champion, that guy's going to hold the WWE title, and that guy's going to hold the TNA world title, you know, you never would have believed it. But now finally Austin Aries is one of those guys who can say, do you know what, he came from Ring of Honor, a company where a lot of people are giving a lot of shit to, but I'm going to probably talk about that in another video. I may do it in a minute. But he came from Ring of Honor, went to TNA, and since then has had a great success with TNA, being an X Division champion and the longest reigning X Division champion, and also now winning the World Heavyweight Championship since making the ultimatum with Hulk Hogan, saying, look, if I do give up the belt, I want other X Division guys to have a chance just like me. So whoever holds the belt, whether it's Alex Shelley, Kid Cash, you know, Zema Ion, I want them to have the same opportunity as I did to have a chance to put up the X Division title and go, do you know what? Instead of the X Division title, how would you like a chance at the World Heavyweight Championship? But you've got to give up the X Division Championship. So that's what Austin Aries wants. And Hulk was like, I'm on. You know, you got your wish. That sounds absolutely perfect. And I really do think that's going to really help the young X Division guys who don't really get a lot of the chance, to be honest, to get to be in the main event spot like that. But it really has to be someone who can really uphold the main event spot and really try and look like a guy who's actually going to win the World Heavyweight Championship. Now, like I said, I want to say congratulations to Mr. Austin Aries. Very well done. Unfortunately, I haven't seen the pay-per-view yet. I've just seen pictures and heard people talking about it. Because if you live in America, obviously you got Impact on a Thursday and then the pay-per-view on a Sunday. Whereas in the UK, we have Impact on the Sunday, but then it repeats on a Tuesday, and then the pay-per-view will be on a Wednesday. So when the pay-per-view does come out, it's actually going to be Wednesday, which I believe is, if I'm right, tomorrow. 1 minute. Check the phone. Yep, it will be tomorrow, in fact, because if you can see that, that's Tuesday. Yep, that's Tuesday there. So hopefully I'll be sat there watching the pay-per-view. One thing I really want to get off my chest though is apparently a wrestler called Kenny King, who is from Ring of Honor, one half of the ROH World Tag Team Champions, has gone to TNA, and a certain YouTuber made fun of this, going, you know, Ring of Honor don't rely on handshakes, actually make contracts rather than, you know, basing all your efforts on handshake or whatever. And to me, obviously, this guy is a complete and utter tool. I'm not going to even mention their name because they're not really worth talking about. But to be honest with you, when you think about it, right, I have total respect for Ring of Honor and the guys who work there. But at the same time, you're going to remember how many of those guys are really going to stay with a company like Ring of Honor. I mean, you look at guys like CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, Austin Aries, Evan Bourne, you know, Alex Shelley, AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels, all of them. How long were they really going to stay with ROH for before they finally went, you know what, I need to go where there's going to be more money. I've got to be financially stable. I mean, it's sort of like looking at ECW. ECW wasn't, for a lot of guys, a financial stable. It was just a company where they could, you know, where they would go and do the rest, where they were building themselves up to go to a company like WCW or to the WWE. And, you know, Bam Bam Bigelow, if you've seen the rise and fall, Spike Dudley actually says, you know, Bam Bam Bigelow said that ECW wasn't worth it, you know, because it was just not making enough money, and Bam Bam Bigelow just had to, he was leaving because he needed to make money. He went from the WWE to ECW and then finally to WCW. He worked in 3 different promotions, all with different styles, and he adapted differently in each company. But I think in ECW was his best time. But you know, my point being that why is Kenny King? Why are some of these guys going to stick with a company like ROH? As much as I'm a fan, I realize these guys aren't going to stay with a company that is going to, where you can only go so far. The glass ceiling really doesn't get any better after you win the ROH World Title. You know, what are you going to do after that? You know, really there's not much else you can do apart from go, do you know what? I can lose the ROH World Title to this guy like Eddie Edwards, and I can go off and do my own thing in another company. You know, same with Pro Wrestling Guerrilla. You can only go so far before it's time to move on to the next level, where you go on to maybe TNA, and then you go on to the WWE, and then basically you become a superstar. And that's the way I think the wrestling business. I think Kenny King, from his promo after his match on Impact, really did well. He did a good promo. He said there'll be a new king in that, which I thought was really cool. I'd love to see him in TNA a bit more, but obviously because he's one half of the ROH World Tag Team Champions, that's going to be slightly difficult. But apart from that, I think if he does lose the ROH Tag Team titles, I think he should just go, do you know what? I've run as far as I can with ROH, maybe have a few more runs with the All Night Express with Rep Titus, and go, do you know what? We've had our run together, I'm going to move on now and go off to TNA and get a bit more exposure, make a bit more money in that. Because yeah, I think he's a good wrestler, I think he's a decent wrestler, and if you watch this match, you'll know what I mean. If you haven't, look in the search box, I'm sure it's there somewhere, and somebody's hopefully uploaded a video of his match and hopefully his promo as well after his match. So yeah, anyway guys, I want to thank you very much for watching. Yeah, like I said, I'll let you know what I'll hopefully be doing more videos and that soon. Also, I'll be probably trying to do more updates on my views so far on the 50 Shades of Grey. Who knows how that'll turn out. But yeah, thank you so much guys for watching. Please do leave comments in the comment section below. Subscribe, you know, everything else, and then pass these videos on to your friends. Let them know what you think. Anyway guys, I want to thank you very much for watching, like I said. Hope you enjoyed this video. I know I've enjoyed making it, and I will see you soon. Peace.